The next thing we want to look at, feature 19, is the ability to have supporting information for a measure. We have found oftentimes that when you go in and you look at somebody's performance management system or their scorecard, they will have a measure like the number of active community partnerships. And they'll have a number from the prior year, and then they'll have a number for the current year. And if you ask, who are the 7 or who are the 9, they don't really know, and they don't know who's counted, who's not. Oftentimes there'll be something like, how many businesses have we helped with, you know, if it's trying to create local jobs, or how many companies have we done training for on implicit bias if we're trying to improve practices around inclusion and diversity. And there'll be a number there. And when you ask, where did that number come from? They'll be like, well, I asked Karen, or I got the number off the PowerPoint presentation that was presented at the annual meeting last year. But you don't really know who those are, and if you're counting the same one more than once or not. Here we have the ability in multiple ways to be able to attach a report that has more detail depending on the nature of it. Here's an example where we might have a spreadsheet that has the number that lists the partners who are active along with the contact person and whether they were active in the prior year, whether or not their relationship has ended. It's simple, but it allows you to easily calculate how many you have active and who those are at any given time period. And that can streamline answering those questions and provide a lot of valuable information to take steps, like maybe you want to call them and see if they'll do something so they're active in your partnership rather than let that just fade away. Another way we can use this is, in this case, we're looking at the number of referrals received, but there might be some analysis of that. And here we're bringing up a report that has more detailed analysis. And again, this is just a generic report I picked off the internet, but the idea that you might have a report that has pie charts or has different analysis by segment, where you're doing analytics and generating a report off a lot of detailed data. InsightVision is not intended that you bring in all the detailed data and use InsightVision to do that type of analysis. What InsightVision is focused on is, what are we doing to increase the number of referrals? There might be some other system that all of the referral detail is in, and that's where you could do the analysis or do that outside of InsightVision and then link that report so people can take advantage of that information. So these are 2 examples of feature 20, which is the ability to link measures to, or excuse me, that was feature 19, to link to supporting information for a measure that gives you better understanding, better insights, and the ability to take action. You can also link to an interactive site if you have another application that you can then slice and dice or whatever, because this can either be an uploaded file like a PDF or a link to another application. Oftentimes we have calculated measures, and feature number 20 is the ability to see the data that goes into a calculation. So in this case, this is for a fictional health department. We want to know which programs are on track with their activity levels. And it's a % of the programs that are non-exempt. Exempt programs, we're not tracking their activity levels. And I can see here I'm at 63%, but I'm well short of my target. And if I click on this icon, I can see the data that's used to calculate that. And it says here, here's the measure and how it's calculated. And then here's the data used to calculate the measure. In this case, the number of non-exempt programs and the number that are on track with the activity level. Well, in this case, this is calculated. I can see by this icon here. And if I click, it shows me each one of my programs and whether or not they're a yes or a no, which gets me to the number that I have that are a yes. And it also lets me see which ones I might want to talk to in order to, nudge them and spur them to get on track so I can get more yeses here so my measure can move in the right direction. Another feature here, these are called breadcrumbs. This takes me back just to the related actions one step, or all the way back to the home page. So you'll see those many cases when you navigate. We didn't have that as a numbered feature here, but it is one. So we're still on the home page, and we're already through 20 different features to help make your work easier and to make performance management and strategy management more helpful by having a strategy management platform.